My name is Jenna Ward, and this is my ILS lesson plan on my bottle flip challenge activity. So the standards for this lesson are 2-PS1-2, which is analyze data obtained from testing different materials to determine which materials have the properties that are best suited for an intended purpose. And then also K-2-ETS1-3, which is analyze data from tests of two objects designed to solve the same problem to compare the strengths and weaknesses of how each performs. So the learning objective I have for this lesson is at the conclusion of this lesson, students will be able to compare different materials and determine by testing them which material has properties that is best suited for the intended purpose. Materials needed for this activity is they will need 4 different types of bottles. So they have to all kind of be a different style, like the ones I have pictured here that I chose. You could probably get these from the cafeteria if you guys have like some bottle recycling in there, or you could have kids bring different bottles in from home, whatever you can do to get those. And then they will also need a tablet or something they can record on, kind of whatever you have at your school. So to start out this lesson, I will start out with an engagement video, and I'm going to start out by showing them the reason the bottle flip challenge even came to be. Was this video that this kid did a bottle flip at a senior talent show and it went viral, and then everyone was trying to repeat it. So this is the video. And then maybe if you have some more time, you could show some other viral videos of people doing the bottle flipping so they can kind of get an idea of what it is and what we're about to do. So then I would ask the students, what do you think makes for the best bottle and water level to flip? So then I kind of let them, lead that dialogue and get some ideas. And I'd say, okay, let's put it to the test. On day one, continued, we'll go over key terms before we do the activity, and then I'll write them on the board and keep them up there throughout the lesson so they can reference them. We'll go over compare and contrast, quality and properties, and I'll kind of explain that quality you can use to describe characteristics of someone or something, whereas properties, it's mostly just something because we don't really use the word properties to describe qualities of people. And then I'll go over strengths and weaknesses, and then technique as well. All right, so the first part of the activity is they need to come up with their flipping technique. Since through the different tests they will need to be consistent, they'll have to come up with their technique of throwing that they're going to use each time. So they'll have to determine what hand they're going to use, if they're going to flip it on a table or the floor, or if they're going to stand and sit down while they're flipping. So it'll give them some time to practice as well too, so they can get good and consistent at it. Then we will do the different bottle test. So we'll put students into groups of 4, and they will choose 4 different bottles, and they'll fill them all up to an even amount of water. And I think for this I chose 3/4 cup in each bottle. And then students will get to take turns as long as they're doing an equal amount of throwing per person each time. They'll take turns flipping it, and they'll tally whether it was successful or not successful. And then when they figure out which of those was the most successful bottle, they'll then use that bottle to do the different water level test. And this one, they'll pick 3 different water levels they would like to use, and they will measure that in inches. So since it's the same bottle each time, they'll just measure how many inches they'll put in each water when they measure from the bottom up. And then also students will get to choose how many times they toss it for each bottle and water level, and it'll be consistent through the whole time. So these are the worksheets I came up with to help them collect their data. I went ahead and also showed the data I got when I did this experiment. So my technique was I used my right hand, I was standing, and I flipped it onto a tabletop. So then I use 4 different types of bottles. I use a Life water bottle, Pure Leaf, Gold Peak, and then an A&W root beer bottle, which it was in that picture I had before of the 4 bottles. I chose 10 times each with each bottle for tosses, and my winning bottle was the Gold Peak one. So then I used that bottle to test water levels, and I came up with 2.5 inches, 1 inch, and 3 inches of water from the bottom up. And 3 inches was a successful one there. So that was my perfect bottle flipping bottle. So then the next activity, which they'll do start on day 2, maybe continue into day 3, is they will then create a video of their perfect bottle flip. So they'll take the data and they'll use that to create this video, kind of like the videos they saw before. So that's kind of connected for them. And kids are so into YouTube and TikTok and stuff like that these days. So they'll enjoy kind of getting to bring some of their interest into it. So they will create this video, and for mine, I kind of played around with the slow motion on my phone camera. So that's my video of my perfect bottle flip. Then students will present their videos to the class, and then they'll explain after that why their bottle in the video was the best. So then on day 3, students will further elaborate by answering questions in their science journals. So the 2 questions they will need to answer is they will compare the bottle design that did the best against the bottle that did the worst by giving the strengths and weaknesses of each one. Then they will also explain why they thought the properties of the winning bottle, the properties that the winning bottle has, makes it best suited for bottle flipping. So I just kind of helps them further elaborate on that. All right, so that is my lesson plan. Thank you guys so much.